Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. Welcome back to a special edition of Ham Radio Live. Tonight, we're going to show you the power of a loop in a very unique way. We're going to show you the power of the MFJ 1788 transmit and receive loop. It's good for 15 through 40 meters. It will tune 30 and 40 on my rig all day long, 1-to-1 SWR. 1-to-2, well, actually between 1-to-1 and 1-to-2 SWR on 20. Then we get up to 17, and it's right about 1.7. We get up to 15. It's about 1.3 to 1.5. It's been a great antenna. I've really enjoyed using it. And to be quite honest, it's amazing the thing is working considering the condition of everything where we're at right now in our QTH. It's just awful. This was yesterday afternoon, the antenna against a red sky that looks like we're in Mars, but I assure you that's here in Independence, Oregon, and it was at 12:30 in the afternoon, nowhere near midday at all. That was 12:30. It wasn't near, sorry, it wasn't near the end of the day, sorry. It wasn't near sunset or sunrise. This was light right after high noon, and you can see we still have our porch lights on because it was that dark. It looked that bad. That's how thick the smoke is here. Richard over at MFJ said, hey, let's see how well it works in these conditions. They're hard to duplicate. He's right. Well, give it a shot. I mean, I don't want to send back a broken antenna to him, but we'll give it a shot. Just 1 second. Equipment testing, Kilo 7 Hotel November on Tower 2. Tower 2. Been keeping the frequency open, making a few checks just to see how things are going. I'm going to switch you to a very unique cam now. You're going to see it on the screen, hopefully good enough. I'm not going to be able to see if you're seeing it well or not, to be honest with you, because I've got this in front of me on the screen, literally. All right, this is a web SDR. As you can see, if I scroll up, it is from Half Moon Bay, California. Now, this is just south of San Francisco, about 550 to 600 miles. Let me go ahead and turn up the audio here so you can hear it, and we'll see about our call. Now, this is with using the MFJ. So, no, let's do it the other way. Let's go with, hold on. You know, it's built like a dipole. Let's compare it to a dipole, all right? This is off a ZS6 BKW multi-band dipole at 48 feet, so it has the advantage of being higher than the MFJ 1788, literally, seriously, by 26 feet. Okay, it's 26 feet higher. Let's see how it goes into San Francisco off of the ZS6 BKW dipole first. So that is San Francisco. We're going to move now over to the MFJ 1788 magnetic loop antenna, make the same call. See if you can hear it from the San Francisco area. And that could mean, it could mean a lot of reasons. There could be also, you know, we're in the skip zone, right? Skip zone can cause that. Really can. So when we have something like that going on, we could be having that kind of a problem. So since we don't know, we'll just say, well, maybe it's a skip zone issue. If it is, then we can deal with that, right? We can work with that. That's not something so bad that we can't fix. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same test now. We'll try it one more time. I'd like to give the ZS6 BKW one more shot in San Francisco, and then do the same for the MFJ 1788. Same power level. We are at 150 watts, okay? First, on the dipole. This is equipment testing from Kilo 7 Hotel November. dipole. Now let's move over to the MFJ 1788. That's at 22 feet. That's 26 feet lower, okay? And it works like a dipole. The higher it goes, the better it is. Here we go. All right. So neither signal really can be heard in San Francisco. Let's move now to Maui. As you can see right here, this is a place called Kahakuloa, Maui. That's 7,500 miles away. Let's pull up the volume and let's listen, because I think we might be able to be heard here. Let's first try the dipole again. We'll bring up the noise. Or I should say the signal, sorry. All right, first things first, let's get on the dipole. This is the ZS6 BKW dipole. Again, the ZS6 BKW dipole at 48 feet high.
Equipment testing from dipole antenna. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November. This is equipment testing for dipole antenna from Kilo 7 Hotel November.
All right, so you can see the signal report there. Not too shabby, right? All right, well, let's go to the loop. Again, this is 26 feet lower in the air. That's its disadvantage. But MFJ engineers built it to be comparable to a full-size dipole. So let's see how it does. Again, this is the MFJ 1788 at 22 feet up in horrid conditions. It is completely unhealthy air quality where I live, and that smoke does refract some of the signal back. Here we go. MFJ 1788.
From Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November. This is MFJ 1788. MFJ 1788 magnetic loop antenna on Kilo 7 Hotel November testing.
My friends, that is an S5. I don't know if you can see that on the screen or not, but that's an S5. We'll do it one more time, let you hear it. Be careful if you can hopefully see the S meter here at the bottom. It's right here. All right. Move to the dipole now. Here's the same call.
Equipment testing from dipole antenna at 46 feet, 48 feet, excuse me. Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November on ZS6 BKW dipole.
Okay. Now we've got all of a sudden some traffic that got real close to us here. They've gotten quite close on the signal, obviously. And, you know, we could argue, we could fight about it. I don't really want to do that. I hate doing that. I think it's a no-win. Clearly, we're fairly close. I would like to try something more, though. Let's try this real quick. You can find a lot of these SDRs on Kiwi SDR. It's a fantastic place. I just simply go to the maps, and I want to search an area to listen. That's where I go. So this is New Zealand, and I love this one here. This is Rotorua, New Zealand. This is on the North Island. I'm going to quickly try to do this because I don't want to make it too crazy. Obviously, we have someone close on frequency. I'd rather not make it difficult on them, but at the same time, We have been here a little while too. I was calling this CQ long before, I shouldn't say CQ, but we've been calling this long before we had that person that was on there. So let's try and take a look. 7187 from New Zealand. Make sure that our other SDR signal is off. It is. We're good. Let's find out. All right. First of all, we'll do the dipole. All right, you can hear it just barely in New Zealand. Now, what if we move over to the MFJ 1788? Whoop, as my voice cracks. Let's find out. Here we go, right? Okay, so tonight, not good in New Zealand, okay? But clearly good in Hawaii. That's halfway across the Pacific. We'll give one last shot, one last check, just so you can hear the two. Again, this is the ZS6 BKW dipole at 48 feet.
Equipment testing from Kilo 7 Hotel November. This is a ZS6 BKW dipole. ZS6 BKW dipole test from Kilo 7 Hotel November.
All right, so there you see it. We're about an S6. An S6 with a dipole that's at 48 feet. Now let's go up onto the MFJ 1788 in Maui. Here we go. There you go, my friends. There you go. All right. So, where does that leave us here? Well, it gives us a good idea of some things. Okay. First of all, it tells us that on a day like today, or I should say an evening like tonight, when you have terrible conditions like what we have, very nasty smoke, it's awful. I mean, it really is. I could show you pictures from my camera that would astound you. Truly, they would astound you. I think I got one right here. This one, if it's the one I think it is, yeah, this was taken this afternoon. You can still see the orange sky. There's no sun. There's no mountains. There's nothing but heavy smoke. That's what we're facing here in Oregon. It's catastrophic. I mean that. It's just catastrophic. Now, this little antenna is literally at 48, sorry, this little guy, the MFJ 1788, is at 22 feet. Now, on the right of this picture, if you take a look up in the right corner, you see the ZS6 BKW antenna. No part of that antenna is lower than 30 feet. So, even at its lowest point, it's still higher by a long shot, like, 13 feet than this MFJ 1788. And again, that's the way the sky looks here. So that MFJ 1788, if we were to give it the same advantage that the ZS6 BKW dipole has, because again, the 1788 made by MFJ is made to be like a full-size dipole. The bonus, you get 5 full-size dipoles in one loop because you can tune it. So, like a dipole, the higher you go in elevation, the lower the takeoff angle becomes on the horizon. If we were to add 26 feet more to the elevation of that antenna, I believe it would equal the ZS6 BKW antenna. I really do, because height makes that much of a difference in your takeoff angle. It really does. It makes a huge difference. So kudos to MFJ. Sorry, my mouth's getting really dry. Kudos to MFJ for a great product. Folks, if you're looking for a good antenna with a great receive, when's the last time you thought about that for your ham shack, right? A receive antenna? You should be looking at one if you don't have a beam. They are essential. They are. So take a look at it. Look at the reviews. But then take a look online at YouTube of it too. But do me a favor, watch that waterfall, because you're going to see the same thing I'm going to show you right here. Okay, I'll switch back to the rig cam real quick. You're going to see when they switch antennas, you're going to see a whole bunch of noise pop up on that screen, right in the waterfall area, right through here. That noise is going to populate. Now, the antenna essentially opens up this little window right here, but strong signals can still be heard. You see one here, you see one here, there's one over here. So it's not like you miss them. You can still tune them in. But this little window is where SWR is real good. That's really what you see. All right. Now, if we go and we change antennas, let's go to that dipole, for example. Look at the screen. That's noise. Okay. Listen. Listen carefully here. Okay. Just going to go back down to where we were. Okay. So where we were. Now, listen. This is off the dipole. Listen to the audio. Now, the loop. Hear the difference? Let's go again. Dipole. Loop. One more. Let's do this. I got an idea. The MFJ 1788 is not supposed to compete with the vertical, but let me just show you vertical noise versus this antenna. Here is the vertical, the high gain AV680 vertical, a wonderful antenna. And I got to tell you, I love this antenna a lot. I would never get rid of it. But listen to the noise that pops up as soon as we have just turned off all the noise reduction, just to get some signal here. Okay. Let me turn on the vertical. Here it is. That's pretty obvious, right? You can hear it, you can see it. Back to the loop. I'm not doctoring anything up. That's just what they do. You see, that's why I came to ham radio like I did. I had that experience before I got my ham license. I'd been DXing shortwave and medium wave and ham broadcast for over 40 years. I understood antennas. I understood especially receive antennas. Folks, you cannot go wrong with this antenna. Not only do you get the incredible quality of receive and the gain it picks up as it lowers your noise floor, but you also get transmit power at 150 watts. That's a big package right there and an awful lot to be very excited about, folks. 5 bands, 5, 15 through 40. So just to spell them out, that's 15, 17, 20, 30, and 40. The highest SWR I've recorded on it was 1.7 to 1 on 17 meters. Really, from 20, 30, and 40, I don't think I've seen higher than 1.2 to 1, and that's been on 20, and only occasionally. I can get it down to 1 to 1 many times. So we'll just call it 1.1 to 1. We'll split hairs. But on 30 and 40, it's solid 1 to 1. Perfect. You get every ounce of power you can out of that antenna. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. See you at 1 p.m. Pacific time today when we crack open this old shindig and we do Ham Radio Live show number 29. Until then, God bless you. Thanks for watching. 73 from Oregon, everybody. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November with a scratchy throat and a dry mouth. Saying goodbye, everybody.